Brave Nation, this next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in a catchweight bout of 77 kilograms. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 1 win and no losses. He stands 181 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 76.65 kilograms. Representing Korean Zombie MMA and fighting out of South Korea, please welcome Yoon Sung Jang. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 2 wins and no losses. He stands 185 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 76.7 kilograms. Representing KHK Team Bahrain and Boxing Squad and fighting out of Nice, France, please welcome Axel Sola.
Brand in the sport.
Both fighters undefeated. Fairly young in their mixed martial arts career. Not even 6 months for Yoon Sung Jang, just over a year for Axel Sola. Nice leg kick from the Korean.
Nice leg kick, but an incredible recovery. That drop forward actually powered the hands of Axel Sola.
Very wide base from the southpaw, Axel Sola.
A little bit of a wide base from both fighters means they're both planning on setting down, letting those hands go.
Nice work at distance from Axel Sola. Trying to find a home for that left hand, and again the timing on that kick from Jang is unbelievable.
Axel Sola not giving that kick away either. Very impressive timing on the part of the Korean.
Sola trying to work his way in with the jab. En route to landing that big left hand. There it is. Jang completely eats it. Taking on the characteristics of his head coach, the Korean Zombie. Just eating the shot, moving forward.
TKZ cage side with us.
That's pretty cool. Axel Sola as calm as you like. Just waiting for the opportune moment to unleash that piston of a left hand. Doing a good job of throwing feints, trying to create little openings for himself, trying to get... Oh, beautiful head movement. That head movement refined at Boxing Squad in Nice, France.
Sola in the southpaw stance, that means his right side is forward. It means both these fighters have to make some little adjustments. The jab is no longer going to be particularly effective. The single greatest thing you can do is, for either fighter, is get their foot on the outside of the opponent's foot. That gives you a straight line down the middle with your straight. Your straight becomes a jab.
And I was going to say it's more advantageous for Axel Sola in the opening stanzas of a fight because southpaws are very rare in any combative sport. So it'll take your opponent just that little bit to get accustomed to the punches coming from strange, unorthodox angles. The entries into the takedowns, which we haven't seen so far, to be fair, come at unorthodox angles.
Sola just threw a kick high. I'm expecting to see him, once he gets a better sense of his opponent's defense, to throw that kick to the liver.
Nice shot from Sola again. That left hand is paying dividends for him. Cumulative effort changing levels well.
Axel Sola representing KHK Team Bahrain.
Trying to work that counter left, trying to absorb a little bit from Jang. Oh, and these shots are landing clean, but Jang able to eat them. This fight is mostly being contested in kickboxing range. Neither man's threatened with a takedown so far. Axel Sola has previously spent time out at All-Star Training Center training with some absolute beasts over there, just sharpening the tools. First time we've seen the action taking place up against the cage. Sola as calm as you like. Just forcing his weight upon Jang.
It's a very subtle battle going on here, but Axel Sola is winning it. He's putting his head where he wants it offensively, keeping his head where he needs it to be defensively, landing a couple little shots in there. Very, very smart to continue to strike like that in what's essentially a neutral position.
Tried the spinning back elbow. You have to respect that from such a young fighter to be willing to allow himself to be that creative in only his third professional fight. 30 seconds to go in the first round here.
Sola may be feeling a little bit of the effects of jet lag, a little bit the effects of a long trip here.
He's still able to get some decent offense off. It's just I get the feeling that both these fighters are predominantly trying to anticipate what their opponent's going to do.
Yeah, Muay Thai, of course, one of the major backgrounds for striking in mixed martial arts. For complicated reasons, Muay Thai very, very much a counter-striking art. And you do see that in mixed martial arts, maybe a little bit more often than you would want to see to impress the judges, to make the judges' job easy for them.
What you may see is an upturn in activity now that they've had that one round to settle into the fight, to kind of get a gauge of one another, to see how one another moves.
Two fighters have taken the measure of each other. They've downloaded a bunch of important information as to how we're going to see improved fighters in this round.
Both fighters looking fresh and ready to go. Touch of gloves, and we are right after it from the get-go. Axel again just trying to find a home for that left hand. Jang trying to work his way inside with that jab. Both these fighters feinting heavy with their lead hand. Nice inside leg kick coming from southpaw from Sola. That's the thing, the inside leg kick has opened to both fighters here. Southpaw versus orthodox. As we said, Axel Sola 19-5 as an amateur. Went about it the right way, amassed as much experience as you can in the amateur ranks before transitioning to pro.
And the great thing about amateur fighting is, doesn't matter if you lose, it's a learning experience. Now all that experience is being put to use for money.
As the great and powerful John Kavanagh often says, win or learn. Oh, nice shot from both men, landed simultaneously. I like that every time that either fighters, because anytime Sola fires off, you see Jang trying to fire back immediately. That's that counter-striking game that we talked about. Just almost disdainfully shrugged off by Sola. Trying to get in on the takedown. Has the hands connected. We could see a flare double here. Or maybe just try and pop those hips out. Use the cage to bounce off. Beautiful work from Sola. Establish the takedown. What can he do with it? Beautiful lace up with the legs, Kerry.
Yeah, nice figure four. You can usually get it. You're pretty much guaranteed to get one shot to the face off before your opponent manages to escape from there. At least one shot to the face.
A little bit of marking under the right eye of Jang.
Very impressed by Sola's giraffe fighting and the use of his head to gain advantageous position, advantageous leverage. Those knees to the body from this position are a little bit dangerous. If the head drops, that knee inadvertently goes up and hits the head, there can be a disqualification.
Oh, gone high crotch on it. Thought about the big dump takedown. Chang was able to break his fall a little bit, but a lot of the time you see people try and break their fall. Oh, back of the head.
That is an illegal. Elbow did not cause any damage.
That's one in the bank now. He's got away with one. Dickie Larkin has that ticked off in his head that one was thrown there. Oh, nice shot from Sola, and again. And it's this particular aspect of the fight that requires serious cardio. Nice control being exhibited by Axel Sola. Chang trying to create the break, just trying to break that grip of Axel Sola. Good use of the wizard to get back to the feet from Chang. And you forget that just how big a test this is for Chang. Good heavy sprawl, only 19 years old, 1-0 in your second professional fight. In your first year as a pro, this is a huge test.
When you're coached by none other than TKZ, you can get great results very quickly.
Again, shelving up those legs. And that's a great hallmark of the fighting style of Axel Sola, is he shows a fighting IQ far beyond his 24 years.
He does. He needs to cause a little bit of impact here. He clearly has the advantage in the grappling department. He's not quite taking full advantage of it. There we go. Boom, boom, boom.
Incredibly durable is Axel Sola. Never been finished as a professional or as an amateur. Again, thinking about that high crotch takedown. Maybe trying to put an exclamation point on the round. Nice defense from Axel against the cage.
Those are absolutely telling on the judges' scorecard,
Yeah.
and telling on the face of the opponent as well.
It's all little wins within the fight that Axel's accumulating. It's the takedown, it's the landing strikes, it's the frustrating your opponent. It's a very, very intelligent, well-measured approach so far.
Axel, with only 2 fights, is showing the advantage of having had so many amateur fights under IMAF.
Obviously, that beautiful wrestling that we saw from Axel is informed by KHK head coach, the great Eldar Eldarov.
Eldar didn't work, but when you land those 3 little shots to the head, and Brave Nation, we're very close to them. They're not that little shots. Then you win the exchange, even though what you wanted to happen didn't happen.
He can. Third and final round, still very much all to play for. Both men just trying to find those little openings for one another. Trying to find those little shots. Just grazed the chin to Chang.
Axel Sola, I believe, is up 20-18. No reason for him really to change his game plan up very much.
No, if it ain't broke.
Yoon Sung Jang, I think, wants to go for broke a little bit more. That reaching out, a little bit controversial. If the fingers are pointed towards the opponent, it's no longer allowed under unified rules.
Again, Axel just trying to land his shots, get in and out of the pocket nice and quick. Always fade with that southpaw left hand. There's scope to land that huge big shot right down the middle.
Both these fighters are coiled to explode with a huge punch. Literally, Brave Nation, if there is a split second of lapse of concentration, we could see a knockout.
Nice head movement again from Sola, but Chang putting the pressure on a little bit more. Again, that left just sneaking through, edging ever closer to the chin of Chang. Trying to go over the top, lands in the gloves.
Sola, I think, a little bit the quicker fighter, and very wisely throwing those shots straight down the middle for the most part. There you saw it.
Beautiful shot with a left. Axel himself knew that that landed clean, but Jang's face completely unmoved by that shot.
Shortest distance between a fist and a face is a straight line. Might not land as hard as a hook, as an uppercut, as an overhand, but it's more likely to land. Axel Sola has a nice little whip on the end of those punches too. He doesn't push him forward, he snaps him forward, akin to the end of a whip snapping.
Trying to take out that lead leg. Axel Sola diversifying now with the leg kicks, not just the hands.
I was very impressed about a minute ago when Sola had he had about 6 punches thrown at him, and he managed to very adroitly avoid each of them with his head movement. You saw a little bit of the head movement right here. I think it's giving him a huge amount of confidence in this fight.
Defending the takedown now is Axel Sola. Jang trying to get in on that single leg. Oh, beautiful takedown defense from Sola. Now he switches the position, pressing Jang up against the cage.
Pretty soon we'll see a little...
Oh, and then the trip takedown, and this has really been the story of the fight.
Here comes a shelf, and then there comes a punch in the face.
With 90 seconds left in the round, Sola doesn't need to take any unnecessary chances. Solidify the position, land your strikes, force your opponent into a mistake. Jang needs to be wary of giving up the back, but great work to isolate the arm. Jang was trying to use that as a post. Sola takes it right away from him. Momentarily looked like he was going to try and work for the Dagestani handcuff.
Beautiful use by Sola of his head this entire fight. In mixed martial arts, at this range, the head can become a third hand. You can use that head to push your opponent off balance, to stop your opponent from rising, to keep your opponent's head and shoulders off the hips, where they no longer have the leverage for the body to work effectively.
Straight into another takedown. Axel Sola really putting a dominant stamp to finish the third round here.
Yoon Sung Jang fought very, very valiantly, but he's taken some big shots to the head. Shots to the head are exhausting. He does not have left much in him.
10 seconds to go in what has been a very dominant round for Axel Sola. There you have it for...
Neither fighter is delighted with his performance, but I thought it was a good showing by both fighters. Yoon Sung Jang came into this with only one professional bout, acquitted himself very well. I think we all agree he didn't win. Held his own, showed great conditioning, landed a lot of big shots. Axel Sola, I think, was looking for a highlight reel knockout in this bout. It's the only thing I can think of why he wasn't happy with his performance.
I'm going to make my way into the cage and grab a quick chat with whoever won this bout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, another great battle inside the BRAVE CF58 Monster Zim cage. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score the bout 30-29 for unanimous decision victory. Out of the red corner, Axel